All right. There ends. Before I begin this stream, I must take a brief intermission, just a brief intermission. As y'all sit back and, get ready, I'm going to run something from my channel just to buy the time. So, as you know, no further ado, let me find a video, and I will probably put some up here. I'm just gonna run one of my other videos. So let's play through it, and yeah. All right, let me see. Hold on, let me make sure I found the right video. Because to let you know, this is the last day of Black History Month, so why not? I'm going to run this, and then we're going to begin the show. All right, so no further ado. Let me find the video. Actually, do I got it on my? Let me see if I got it on one of my drives. Hold on. I'm just gonna check some. I always gotta check my folder. Make sure. No, we're gonna play the last one. Screw that. All right, here we go, guys. Sit back and enjoy. And give me a couple minutes, and then we're going to begin the show.
All right. Welcome again to another stream. And another continued reading of American Negro Slave Revolts. This is chapter 4, and we're going to deal with section 1. Chapter 4, Some Participants of Rebellion. This is going to be a very interesting chapter. Despite the existence of the erratic machine for exploitation, the direct victims of it is the Negro slave persistently resisting its creation or creator, and occasionally receive assistance from the less direct victims, the poor whites. What were the factors that implied the slaves towards their militant behavior? Which is a good question. Frederick Law omissed correctly remarked that any great event having the slightest bearing upon the question of emancipation is known to produce as unwholesome excitement among the slave population. It is, moreover, a fact that on numerous occasions, unusually or striking events having no apparent connection with slavery, were interrupted by the Negroes as though the correction was present, and that this played a part in participating some plots and uprisings. Thus, the arrival of Governor Alexander Spotswood in Virginia in 1730 set the slaves whispering that he had brought from the king an order to set all those slaves free that were Christian, and to free those who became Christian, but that their master had suppressed this, while at first no discovery could be made of any form design of their rising, but merely unlawful meetings and loose disclosures, and these were spoon stopped by keeping the militants to their duties by imprisonment and severe whippings of the most suspect within 6 weeks. An actual conspiracy was uncovered. This centered in Norfolk and Princess Anna counties and had reached the point where on a Sunday whistles the people were at church. Some 200 slaves gathered and proceeded to. Okay, and there's a little subsection on here that you can read once you get the book personally. Item crew choose from among themselves officers to command their intent insurrection. This time imprisonment and lashing were brought to be insufficient stimulant to docility, and 4 of the leaders were executed. Thereafter, it was provided that white men who went to worship the Prince of Peace were to take their guns with them. Similarly, some hundreds of slaves of East Jersey near Somerville planned a rebellion and fought to nearby Indians in 1734, and one of the considerations moving them was a belief that the king had issued orders freeing them, but that these had been kept secretly by their owners. One Negro belonging to a Mr. Hall, who appeared to have had a drink too many, could not resist under such exhilarating circumstance exhilarating circumstance. The pleasure of telling a white man of the above fact that his further believed that Englishmen were generally a pack of villains, and that he, the slave, was as good a man as himself, and that in a little time he should be convinced of it. Complete details of the plot were soon uncovered. Many slaves were arrested, and some of whom were found qualities of poison. Some were whipped, others had their ears cut off, and 2 were condemned to hanging, though one of them, and actually, though since one, he of the loquacious moods escaped the gallows claimed, but one Negro, though had already been taken of Governor Dinwiddie remarks in July 1755 that the slaves of Virginia learned of the French victories over the British were becoming very audacious, since that they believed that the former would give them their freedom. And the bitter and prolonged congressional debates concerning the admissions of Missouri into the Union, and the course of which men like King and Talmadge expressed opposition to slavery, somehow reached the ears of certain of the slaves involved in the Great Vesey Conspiracy of 1822 in South Carolina, but it reached their ears in exaggerating form, or as it perhaps more likely they put into what they heard that which they wished to believe. In the way they became convinced that Congress had not merely heard speeches demonstratory or democratory of slavery, but had actually passed an act of emancipation, but which their master refused to abide. Mention of this is made in the official report of the trial of the rebel Negro, and it is also remarked upon by Joel R. Poinsett, who was in Charleston at the time and declared the decision of Missouri question at Washington, among other evil, produced this plot. It was considered by the unfortunate and half instructed people as one of emancipation. In the winter of 1825, a slave plot was uncovered and crashed in Edgecombe, Edgecombe, and it is believed some of the adjacent counties in North Carolina slave preachers were blamed, and it was stated they had told the Negroes that the national government had set them free in October and that they were being unjustified held in servitude. There was more bias for the belief in the intimacy of freedom that moved slaves in Texas and disrupt their master in 1828 for the Constitution of the State of Calamula, Texas, of March of 1827 declared that no one was thereafter to be born a slave and outlaw. After 6 months, the introduction of any more slaves, a law, however, of May of 1828 recognized the legality of contracts made between master and worker prior to arrival in Texas, so that by the use of lifetime contracts, slavery for all practical purpose was legalized. Yet the slave felt that the government had indeed freed them, and they became very difficult and restless under the yoke. The owner had their own imitable methods of driving concern over legal questions from the minds of their chattels, so that according to a contemporary investigation, they, in the efforts to retain them, are making that yoke even heavier. They enact their teeth set on the dogs to tear them to pieces, the most lieutenant being he who that flog his slave until they are flayed. Wow. And widespread unrest was characterized of the slave in the South in 1829. One of the factors moving the Negroes of Virginia was their belief that the recent election of delegates to their constitutional convention to the held in 1829 and 30 of 18 actually 1829 and 1830 was for the purpose of deciding the question of their emancipation. Some had decided to rebel unless that decision were in their favor. According to the Administrator of Police in Wilmington, North Carolina, unrest and plots among Negroes of the neighborhoods in the summer of 1830 were attributable not merely to the circulation among them of David Walker seditious pamphlet, and there's a little undertone rating over here, which y'all can go for yourself. In addition, the magistrate report that a very general and extensive impression has been made on the mind of the Negroes in this vicinity, that measures have been taken towards their emancipation on a certain and not disdained day. Again, one of the considerations striving slaves of Elizabeth City in the same state in 1835 was the belief shared by the Negroes that the Liberators was on his way from the North and to lead them to the struggling for freedom. The tremendous fanfare of the Templeton and Tyler II campaign of 1840, or it's called Tempermore, with each side denouncing the other as abolitionists or the abolitionists, and trying to their alleged devotion to liberty develop dangerous illusions amongst the slave of Perry County, Alabama. Many believed that they were to be free. One maintained that Van Buren was the region of Montgomery with an army of liberations totaling 200,000 men, while another felt that deliverance would come through the hands of the British forces. Negroes told each other at their meetings that the coming of freedom, and there's a French joke here, which I'm not going to go into. And with dogs, everybody is guan to be free, or wife to be free, and the white man or the white masses of genuine to pay them for their works. Oh my brethren, they press time knocking at their door. Old English for a better lack of saying. More frequently, patrolling, arrests, and lashings were needed to convince the slave that they were wrong when they shout, "The year of Jubilee is coming. We all are genuine to be free." A letter written from Charles Valley, Georgia, February the 2nd, 1844, contains the interesting remarks that the Negroes in Georgia are already saying to each other, "The great men are trying to set them free and will succeed," and many other expressions of similar importance. Certain, certain it is that one of the inspirations moving slaves in Texas and Tennessee to plot insurrections in 1856 was their belief that the colony Vermont, that Republican presidential candidate would aid them. A Memphis newspaper report in alluding to widespread evidence of unrest in the city that a lady of a few days ago were went into her kitchen and gave some directions to the Negro cooks, who impudently replied with a smirk or a sneer, "When Vermont elect, you will have a slung them pot yourself." This hopes gave encouragement to slave convicts of conspiracy in Charts Valley, Tennessee, even while they were serving their punishment. Thus, the contemporary witness remarks, "Certain slaves are greatly abdued with this fable, that I have seen them smile when they were being whipped, and have heard of them saying that Fremont and his men can hear them blow. They receive a vigilant commitment and Harrison County, Texas, at the same period reports that there had been a good deal of losing talk among the Negroes about the hate election and the prospect of Vermont's election and the beliefs of some of that they would be free if Vermont was elected. See that? The next campaign led as many by expected to development of similar ideas. Concrete examples of this occurred less frequent than 4 years before, though at least one slave in Georgia followed the success of.
All right. So let me do this. Okay, guys. Let's now begin the actual show. Wait, do I got everything? Hold on, guys. Oh, wait. Let me do this one thing. My apologies. Let me keep running this.
Abraham Lincoln announced Lincoln was elected now and he was free. Severe whippings was necessary to convince him that his conclusion was rather premature. The presence of Spaniards in Florida who were hostile to the English and befriended their fugitive slave was important in leading Negroes to gamble their lives in uprising and attempt to reach that haven. This condition is well indicated in an unsigned letter dated Carolina, June 24th, 1720, describing a recent, very wicked and hilarious plot of the Negroes rising with a design to destroy all the white people. Most of the rebels were captured and some burnt and hanged and some banished but forgotten, or actually banished. About 14 at first elude arrest those thought to get so, or to get to. Augustine, and hopes that the Greek or the Creek Indians would aid, but the latter would not join them or heed their plots. Another fact mentioned is this letter may also have had some importance in participants of the formation of this scheme. I am to inform you that at the same of Tyrone, the Negroes was playing the rogue. He had a small war with the Victimus, or what do you call Vekimus, a nation of Wimi rivers, not alone two men. For many years after the Florida remained a Manitou for American slaves, as well be observed in the course of the narrative, it may here be noted that the slaves who took part in the uprising of Santo, South Carolina, in September 1739, headed for the Edos River, whose mouth is directly north of St. Augustine. Their ultimate goal, contemporaries indeed felt that this insurrection of others that immediate precede and follow it were directly stimulated by agents of Spain, which by 1739 was officially at war with England, but no conclusion evidence of this has been seen. In 1729 and 1730, the regard armed force of the French of Louisiana found it difficult to suppress hostile Indians. Governor Pierre Demfort decided to arm adult male slaves and use them against the Choctaws. In the later years, however, certain of the Negro being armed became aware of the dependence of the white man upon their assistance and realized that they and the Indian had a common foe conspired to unite their forces against him. The French learned of the plot in time, and the usual story of lashings on all involved and the execution of the leaders was repeated. Mention had already been made of the signs of unrest notions among slaves in Virginia and Maryland in the years of 1755 and 1756, in the midst of an so contemporaneous felt largely because of the derangement of excitement consequent upon the waging of the French and Indian Wars. Much of the same situation prevailed during the years of the American Revolution. Here it is likely that the spirit of philosophy of the movement were important as arousing organized display and discontent amongst the Negroes, as well as the excitement and turmoil characterized welfare, especially revolutionary welfare. Negroes in Boston conspired.
All right, guys. All right. Let us now begin. Oh, and like I said, this is Zero Ends channel. If you want support, like the video, share the video, and also subscribe to the channel. Use the top notification bell for the live streams and the uploads here on this channel. Now, as you know, and let me write this down again. Can I pause again? So 260 something mark. The title for today's stream, as you see the thumbnail, as you see the images, butt breaking in the 21st century. Now, I couldn't think of anything else personally, if I really had to go in detail, of really what else is this, what I want to call it, or what I'm seeing right now. But the interesting thing about all this, and yes, we will go there tonight, is I find it ironic. I really mean ironic that a lot of black males today, black males in general, that is not only they're comfortable in their position here in the West, but it isn't comfortable in general because personally, and I mean personally, loosely, that they don't see the position change for a lot of black folks here. And the funny thing about all this, and mind you, there's a lot of things that's being circulating right now through the net right now. And this is one of the last days of so-called Black History Month. That when we talk about economics, finance, money, etc., and etc., it really applauds me that a good portion of us do not see the writing in the wall in regards, and I mean in regards to where we really stand as men. And what I mean by this, what I mean is this, that the position that black people in today is the direction things will never change. And not only will not change, but we are comfortable in where we at as a whole. Now, as you know, I know certain things were circulating throughout the as making its rounds. And one thing is evident. One thing is evident. We do create our own enemies with our mouths and with actions. And because this, we have not utilized social media or the internet effectively for our advantage. More like it's more of like profit and gains. And with the advent and the continued rise and acceleration of technology, you're going to find a whole lot of men like the black man you see on the thumbnail, because he's not really using his common sense and really thinking ahead of times, that you risk a lot of things in life. Even to the point where if you're going to go out your way and, let's be honest, blow non-black women's backs out, having some intercourse and giving, Sarah, Jesse, Rebecca, Becky, or the D while working on the job, you are asking yourself for a world of hurt to the point now, you might, if they decide to let you go, most likely it's going to be hard for you as a black man, no matter if you're mixed or fully black or ADOS or whatever, to find adequate employment. As you know, since TJ Holmes has lost his job, and I think his female counterpart, I think she still works there, is a testament to show where you stand as a man, especially here in America, a black man, especially, no matter if you're mixed or whatever. And I'm very confident this applies to every black man. Now, what I mean by this, let's be honest, and I want y'all to not misquote me on this. That it doesn't matter if you came from a womb of a black woman or you came from a phallus or the seeds of a black man. If you are procreating outside your culture, your race, or stuff, you're going to have the same problems. I don't see anything where they're talking about there's anything better for a lot of children that are a byproduct of mixed race having it much easier, like really easier in the system. Personally, I could be wrong. I think if I am wrong and you catch this, you should leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Personally. But other than that, I am not sure. And so that's, I don't get it. And maybe I'm missing something. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But personally, to find that this has been making its rounds, and I had to really go and Google and look for this article because I saw the picture of this. And if this does not make black males, no matter what background, very angry to the point where they say you're gonna have to really think of something. Something has to change. Especially if you're gonna go out your way and think you just getting access to non-black cooch and making the little money, and eventually once they find out you're doing certain things that they let you go, and it's very hard for you to find employment. Case in point, since TJ Holmes has been let go, have you found that he has worked for any other corporation? Can anybody answer that question me? That I want to know. That's the question I had to lay out on the table because someone could answer for me personally. Because I'm trying to find what's the deal here. What's going on here? Because I'm confused. Now I know a lot of men have engaged in, fornication during the workforce, on and off the workforce, but personally, I find this to be repulsing and ridiculous. And I know I hear the notion that say you're not supposed to eat where you take a dump, but this is going beyond. I say, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I'm just going through some things. Let me see what that dumb shit. I might give a fuck about you. All right. Let me see. I'm trying to find something, guys. All right, guys. Let me find the article. I think this is the article. And let me see where this is. This is the one that comes to mind. And there's a video, but I'm not gonna watch that crap because how YouTube is. Well, actually, let me test this audio, guys. One moment. Let me see if this is from YouTube. This video itself. One moment. As I'm looking, y'all guys, please like the stream, or better yet, share the stream as well. And I'm letting it go through its motions. All right, there is no video, there's no audio, but it's showing the make sure. All right, well, you know, I'm probably gonna share this because this looks like this is the right one. So let's look at this article at hand, shall we? Okay, here we go. And this is from the what is this? I think the Hello article. I think it's called Hello Royal and Celebrity News. As you see the title, and okay, Amy Robach and TJ Holmes' net worth are worldy apart from one another. Let me read that again. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes' net worth are worlds apart from one another. Now I want y'all to sink in with that one. I want that just to sink in. This was posted the 24th of February. Hannah Hargrave is the deputy editor. Amy Robach and TJ Holmes appeared not to have a care in the world as they enjoy a sun-soaked vacation in Mexico. And one moment, guys. Let me do this. Hold on. Let's go through something. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's go back to the article. And PR, I probably, let me use my other window screen so I can see what's going on the other end. Let me see. I should be able to see myself here. I'm going bouncing back and forth. All right, good. I can see myself. All right. Let's keep going. But ahead of their romantic getaway, the pair were fired from their longtime gig on GMA3. I think it's Good Morning America. And that's what it is. Yeah. Leaving them out of work. Oh, it looks like she did get fired same time as TJ. Interesting. Did not know that. Anyway, get rid of this. Get rid of that. That's stupid. Sorry about that. All right. Their careers are up until now have seen them make a substantial amount of money, although the difference in their net worth may surprise you. And will surprise you. And this little short clip, I'm not sure what this is. Let me see. Yeah, well, there's no audio, so we can't see that. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Amy is worth $50 million. 50 mil. You feel me? She's worth 50 mil. Now, I'm not sure how long she's been doing podcasts or anchor or journalism, you know. But her net worth right now is $50 million. Imagine that. Imagine that. It's a lot of money. All right, let's keep going. And this comes from the 50-year-old working on Good Morning America in 2020, as well as the numerous anchoring roles she had in the years leading up to it. TJ, 45, on the other hand, has a net worth of 3 millions. Boom, boom, boom. 3 million? Now, I'm not sure how long T's been doing anchor and journalism, but a black man only made 3 million? Now, mind you, that's more than the typical Americans. I think they would label them, and most black folks in certain communities, or just say that's considered 1%. Okay, buddy. Moving on. All right, let's see. According to Celebrity Net Worth, he also has an extended career working for CNN and a multitude of anchor jobs before joining GMA, Good Morning America. It was reported that their severance package from NBC were widely different too. How so? Due to her long-standing history with the network, and there's a picture of them, the pair relationships was made public in November 2020 as the demise of their marriage. TJ and Marlene Fiebig and Amy to Andrew Shue also became public knowledge. When they were let go from GMA3, Good Morning America, I think, earlier this year, an ABC spokesman statement was released, which read, after several productive conversations with Amy Rabach and Mr. Holmes, TJ, about the different options, we all agree it's best for everyone that they move on. From ABC News, we recognize that their talents and commitments over the years are thankful for their contributions. The spokesperson added a decision for new co-hosts of GMA3 and 2020 will come later. Another picture of them. So look at there, like a 5-year difference between the two. The couple are currently vacationing in Mexico as their romance intensify. Okay. Along with lavishing vacations in Mexico, Amy has also reported splashing out of a new Manhattan penthouse. Okay. The U.S. Sun report that Amy has moved into a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom co-op unit in Lower Manhattan after selling the 5.2 million West Village material home she shares with her family in November 2022. The new paid is reported of a worth 2.3 million, or the new pad was reported worth that much money. That's it for that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm just checking some things. 1 second, guys. I doubt anybody will. I'll post it here anyway. No one's going to come up. Let me see if there's any other different articles that cover this, because that is one of the articles I came across, and personally, I had to go far beyond to find this. And I'm looking at this right now. Yeah, it's only 5-year difference between her and Holmes. All right, so let me go back and let me see if there's another article on this that cover this. And there's another one saying that she might lose money. Interesting. $50 million. I'm gonna scan through this, guys, to make sure what this article composed. Why not? We could probably look at this article too, since I have time. Might as well go through all these little things that's put out here. And this came out the 12th of February. So I'll share screen this one. Share screen. Might as well, since I'm up here. All right, this was from Anime Times. Another I guess article. This one came out a few weeks back, but let's read what is written here. They're not ashamed. Amy Robach might lose major chunk of the 50 million net worth for affairs with TJ Holmes after leaving actor Andrew Shue for relatively poor sees big journal. All right, yeah. Good morning, America. Wait, hold on. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Yeah. It's ridiculous. The advertisements are crazy, man, on this stupid thing. Matter of fact, let me change the view of this because I keep it. Good morning, America. Whirlwind lover Amy Robach and TJ Holmes are unstoppable. The Augusty lovers were seen together at a various time, what they call cadooing, which eventually led them to be somewhat kicked out of the show. If one has to follow the timelines, they were both married to their significant others at the start of the affair. And the overlaps between their affairs and marriages is kind of blur, and while a lot more confusing to tell. It is now speculating that nothing can stand in the way of the lovers, not even money. Robach might be losing a chunk of fortune after the separation from her previous husband, Shue. But the blind lover do not care about it at all. And she shouldn't, because once you're making more than a couple $1,000,000, if depending you got a prenup, and I'm not sure the relationship between her and Shue, if who's making more money, and obviously if they both work in the same field, obviously Miss Shue must make more than Miss Amy. But like I said, I could be wrong, but I am confident she's not making more than her previous husband. Personally. But what I know. Let's keep going. It is now speculated that nothing can stand in the way, not even money. Robach might be losing a major chunk of her fortune, separation from her previous husband, Shue, which I read, but the blind lovers do not care. Let's go down. What was Amy Robach's salary at ABC? The relationship between Amy Robach and NBC has been a long one. She first joined GMA, Good Morning America, as a correspondent in 2012, and later was promoted to anchor in 2020. She also hosts the daytime show ABC, what they call Pandemic. What you need to know. Therefore, ABC is speculating to play favor here. According to Celebrity Net Worth, her annual salary is $1 million, but this will not be the case anymore following her exit from the network. It is still reported that the network has previously provide her with a sizable severance package, certainly more than TJ Holmes, and insider states. And why would that be the case? Well, I could tell you. Okay, I see you in the chat room. Thank you. I hope you listen to this, bro. Mr. the Great Liberator. I hope you listen to this. Okay, let's go down. It says she has been for ABC longer and had a bigger contract. She also had other hosting duties in GMA 3 and 2020. They got paid what they would have been owed for the remainder of their contracts. Okay. Robach is shared a net worth with her ex-husband Andrew Shue, is estimated to be around 50 million. That's around 50 million. Well, you know, when you're married, what his money is her money as well. So that comes into play why she has a bigger net worth than Mr. TJ Holmes, because she's married to her boo and they both combined. Look like it's combined money. So we don't know what's her separate money because it said that's what it says right now. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Her individual net worth is still not known. Let's repeat that. Her individual net worth is still not known. So to recap, what you're seeing on the internet, that is combined with her and her husband. That's a total between her and her husband, not her alone, because remember, they're married. So that wherever, like I said, her money is also his money, just like his money is her money, because they're like a union. Her individual net worth is still unknown. However, it is still unclear how everything will affect her net worth. The ex-husband and heartthrob, Andrew Shrew, reportedly separate from Rabach prior to the news of Holmes and Rabach went live. But the settlement of the outcome is still not clear and out in the public. Also, you must read, TJ Holmes reportedly scrambling to find new gigs as recent allegations by Good Morning America staffers label him a sexual predator. Woo! Oh my God. Are you fucking serious? Man, let me drink this, man. Let's continue. As TJ Holmes less money than Andrew Shrew. When it comes to wealth, TJ Holmes does not come anywhere near the Melrose Place actor Andrew Shrew. The actor is also a successful business owner of the internet media company calfmom.com. Calf Media, the net worth of the personality is to be estimated at around 50 million, whereas it is only 3 million for TJ Holmes. Let's read that again. The actor is also a successful business owner of internet media company cafemom.com and Cafe Media. The net worth of the personality is to be estimated at around 50 million, whereas it is only 3 million for TJ Holmes. Although Holmes' GMA salary has not yet been confirmed by him, it is speculated to be way lesser than his bro. Before I continue, I want people to understand in here and hear me good. Listen. They just give you a glimpse of what is the net worth of this brother. Now, a lot of people will say that he might have some other assets, and that might be possible. But be sure that he was not making a lot of money working Good Morning America from what we read on this arc. And it's expected because they rarely pay most black anchors or personnel or anybody of any black of nature substantial amount of money. That's my check. I'm just saying. But let's keep going. Holmes joins the network in 2014 as a correspondent and has made great progress ever since. He has done shows The World News, Now America, This Morning, and Good Morning America with ABC. We can go down. He also receives a severance package from the network following his exit, but that too was way lesser than Amy Rabach's. Still, obviously, because you're a black man, no matter if you have a white parent and a black parent, you still looked at as a Rabach still, after everything that has happened, they felt it was all a blessing in disguise. As the lovebirds are seen enjoying their downtown in each other's company merrily, as anonymous sources report to page 6 following the news of their departure from the show. And it quotes, "They're not ashamed. They're two consenting adults who end up loving each other. They haven't seen each other since Tuesday. It is not how they want is news of their relationships to come out, but it is also kind of a relief." All in all, only time will tell how what many call a hardcore self-destructive move will prove to be beneficial for the pair. Also read the network that didn't hold against her. Amy Roach got much better deal than TJ Holmes. The near spotless career of Holmes spiraled into the what do you call it, depression for being labeled a predator. That's the end of the article. And we're going to stop sharing. Yes. Oh, yes. Whew. Damn. I have nothing else on this stream. It speaks for itself. Butt breaking. Oh, now in regards to butt breaking, I'm gonna keep it short. Butt breaking is a Eurocentric creation. It is derived and created by non-Black people, and was really implemented during the times of enslavement, chattel enslavement, which they grabbed a good portion of Black people, your Black butt, from one continent to the Caribbean, to the South Americans, to the Americans, and they initiate and start the process of breaking your behinds. And many ways they do it is they do it by pulling you and your parents away, taking you from a little yee boy, and eventually start, engage in psychological programming and sexual abuse. And as you know, Tariq Nasheed did a whole documentary on this nonsense. Personally, I think it's hurtful, but nonetheless, it's something that you should have a clear understanding, because this history will not be taught to you through you going and find it in the textbooks. You're going to have to go out in the world and find the visuals to see what it might look like. Even to the point you might have to go, if you read beyond third grade level, to understand the real lingo of what has really happened to you. And yes, sexual abuse is another form of butt breaking. If they start breaking your backside as a male, you too will go and engage that same behavior to other potential males and females. Let's be clear. Keep that in mind. So butt breaking is always a creation that now do you know you must do differently. And usually one thing to end butt breaking and stop being buck, you're going to have to do something differently, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Now, I'm not going to give you the rubric of how to go about this, because life is a journey. You must look into yourself to figure out and hopefully find the answers for yourself. I don't have time in this broadcast to give you the clear, definite answers. But know this, the answers to all problems is there. You just got to seek it out. In wrapping up this video, this stream, TJ Holmes' career is possibly over, as we know it. It is over. It is over. Now, because we have males using the internet to make their own podcasts for YouTube and all other social media outlets, my advice to you, tread softly and move like you have some sense. And don't fall victim like the TJ Holmes in the world, especially you working at 9 to 5. And if you are working at 5, you should find ways. If you're making more than over $250,000 or more million a year, you should be planning your exit as soon as possible. You should not stay there so comfortably. And I notice with a lot of males today, we all know females going to be comfortable. As a male, unfortunately, if you're making that big money, you should not be even comfortable. You should be very uncomfortable. Because the money you're making, analyze corporations, they're underpaying you. And the little tricks they give you is just enough that you might stay around. And I say, don't do that. Find a way if you can. because you don't want to fall victim like Mr. T.J. Holmes. That's pretty much it. Thank you everybody for watching and listening to today's broadcast. If you made it through this video, make sure you hit the like, subscribe to the Zero Ends channel, and leave a nice comment. I'll be looking forward to reading your reactions. Other than that, thanks for watching. And like always, take care.